Salam sejahtera to our lecturer Dr. Muhammad Irman bin Ramli. We are students of 3 BMMM S1/2. Today, we would like to present our topic regarding differential. For introduction, in the early automobiles, rear wheels turned separately and only one wheel was connected to the engine, which driven by the engine. An engineer built differential which connect both rear wheels to the engine without any problem, such as sliding and slipping on turns. Differential is a component which a rotating drive shaft could change direction. As for rear-wheel drive, it transfers power to an axle that runs perpendicular to drive the left and right wheels. As the vehicle moves around the corner, the outside wheel needs to travel faster than the inside wheel. As we can see in the diagram of differential, the gear components that consist in the differential is drive pinion gear, differential bevel gears, ring gears, drive shaft bevel gears, and drive shaft. These components are what they consist inside the differential part. For the definition of differential, differential is a set of gears which will transmit engine power to the wheels. It transfers torque equally to both driving wheels, connecting two collinear shafts or axles such as those of the rear wheels of an automobile. There are three main types of differential, which is 1. Open differential. It splits torque into different speed outputs. These are the common type of differential. Second is locking differential, which is allow the wheels to spin at the same speed. This type of differential are mostly in trucks. And the third differential is limited slip differential, which it will locks when a wheel slip occurs. These differentials are usually in sport car.
Hello, my name is Anis Nopal. So right now, I would like to explain about the why important or purpose. So, to change over the power's direction from longitudinal and directly to the wheel. To prolong the life of the car, it is crucial to have comprehension of its components and how they work or function. A differential is an important piece of equipment that keeps the vehicle working well. A differential is a gearbox that sits between the drive wheels of a vehicle. If the vehicle has a four-wheel drive system, then it quite seemingly has a front and rear differential. A differential works with the transmission to deliver power from the engine to the shaft that turns the wheels. It also helps the vehicle turn properly. In order for the vehicle to turn, the outside wheels must turn faster than the inner wheels. A differential uses gears to allow the wheels to turn at different speeds. Superior on track. Consider a situation where a vehicle fitted with the standard differential moves straight, and one drive wheel is on the surface with good traction, and the other wheel is on the slippery track. In a standard differential, the left and right axle rotations are completely independent. Since one wheel on the slippery track, the standard differential will make the wheel spin in excessive speed, while the good traction will remain nearly dead. This means high power supply to the slippery wheel and low power flow to the good traction wheel, so the vehicle cannot be moved. To keep the differential in good condition, we need to have its fluid changed regularly. This is because normal wear can cause the fluid to break down, which could cause scraping and friction.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afiq Azman, and today I will explain how differentials works in a car. Differential of a vehicle consists of various gears and shafts that being set up into a component that being installed as parts of the vehicle system. Parts involved in a differential are drive shaft, axle shaft, drive pinion, ring gear, differential pinion, differential side gear, and differential case. This is the basic layout of differential for a car. The first differentials of car are open differentials, which is the most basic differential for a vehicle. The power from the engine is transferred to the ring gear through a pinion gear. The ring gear is connected to a spider gear, which is at the heart of the differential, and it is free to rotate in two different ways, which is along the ring gear and other on its own axis. The spider gear is meshed with two side gears that connect to the axle shafts. When the car moves in straight line, the spider gear rotates along with the ring gear, but it does not rotate on its own axis, and the spider gears will push both side gears to turn at the same speed. So this assembly will move as a single solid unit. When the car turns to the right, the spider gears will function as a pivotal role along with the rotation of the ring gear. Then the spider gears will rotate on its own axis. The spider gears will produce an extra spin to meet the distance traveled by the wheels with different speeds. When the car turns to the left, the spider gear will spin on opposite direction and the outer wheel will travel faster than the inner wheel. The second differentials of car are closed differentials that mostly being used by off-road activity and heavy vehicles. It's still working and functioning as an open differential, but along with an additional advantage of having it locked in place to make it function as a fixed axle. This mechanism will be function when there is more traction needed, as the distribution of torque will be equally distributed to both wheels. In other words, both axles and wheels will hold the same amount of load and higher traction will be produced to overcome the load problem. Heavy vehicle needs high traction control during drive because of the load placed on them. So this mechanism will function very well with it by transforming from open differential to closed differential when needed. When they drive on slippery road or uneven road surface, the differential will be locked on both sides and both tires will travel the same speed to overcome the slip produced when driving on that type of surface. The third differential is limited slip differential, also known as LSD system. The LSD still have the same layout mechanism with the open differential that consists of spider gears, differential side gears and ring gear, but it has additional series of friction and steel plates packed that called clutch, placed between the side gear and the casing. Friction discs with interval teeth are locked with the side gear, so the friction disc and the side gear that connects to the axle shaft will move together. Steel plate has external pads and are made to fit the case groove, and it will install on the friction disc in interlaced layout for a few layers in the casing. When the clutch pack assembly is well pressed, the frictional force produced will make it move as a single unit. The steel plates are locked with the case and friction disc with the side gear in a well-pressed clutch pack. Motion from the casing is directly passed to the corresponding axle. The space between the side gears is fitted with a preload spring that always gives a thrust force and will press the clutch pack together. So there will be no gap between the gears and the clutch pack, so the response will be faster. When a wheel drives on a bad surface of road, low traction will be produced and at the same time a high traction will be transferred to other wheel. By the presence of clutch pack, the clutch pack at high traction wheel side will be pressed firmly and the clutch pack will be locked. The power from the differential casing will flow directly to the high traction axle via the clutch pack assembly.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syariz Syazwan BMMM. Now I will explain advantage and disadvantage about differential of a car. There are quite a variety of options when selecting a differential for a vehicle. I will explain three different types of differential of a car. First, open differential. Advantage of open differential: allow for completely different wheel speed on the same axle, meaning no wheel slip will occur while going around a corner as the outside tires will travel further. Next, from an efficiency standpoint, less energy will be lost through the differential versus alternative options. And the last one is cost. The disadvantage of open differential: when one wheel has poor traction, this drastically limits the amount of power the vehicle can put down, because the torque distribution is always 50/50. If one wheel cannot put down much power, the others will receive an equally low amount of torque. Second type differential of a car is lock differential. The advantage is: first, allow for torque to go to the wheel with the most traction. For all differential styles, this will allow for the most torque to reach the ground on any surface condition. Next, for off-road use where tires wear is not an issue, this is about as good as it gets: robust, simple, and very effective. And the last one, in situations where it's desirable to keep wheel speed constant on an axle, this is an easy solution. The disadvantage is a lock differential will not allow for wheel speed difference between the right and left wheels. This means additional tires wear as well as binding within the drivetrain as a result. Last type differential of a car is viscous limit slip differential. The advantage is: first, allows for different wheel speeds on an axle, thus reducing tires wear versus a lock differential. The same applies for all forms of LSD, but this style is particularly good for it. Second, allows for torque to be sent to the wheel which has more traction. And the last one, very smooth operating, typically will not have the low speed clunkiness associated with other LSD types navigating in a tight radius. The disadvantage of viscous limit slip differential is: first, cannot fully lock up. The system requires a speed differential between the two sides in order to transfer torque. And the last one, as the internal gear fluid heats up, in case where it's being used too frequently, the effect of the LSD will be reduced. As a conclusion, in this study, we have seen the importance of differential, its working and different types of it, and how they are different than each other, and its usefulness according to the requirement in automobile. In automobile and other wheel vehicles, normally the differential allows each of the driving wheels to rotate at different speeds while supplying equal torque to each of them. Apart from the standard differential, the other type, like LSD, locking differential, are used for avoiding traction problem. LSD prevent excessive power from being allocated to one wheel and thereby keeping both wheels in proper rotation. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.
Bong bong bạ bong bong bạ bong 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 bạ bong bong ស្រីស្រីរំទីលបោតសារងវ៉ាំងខាងពេជ្រូបាច់ខោក្នុងបាក់តិចសោះ